the prospect of playing with the quarterback as accomplished and talented as Sam Levitt had that impacted your decision?
Yes, it for sure did. Most of the schools, once I hit the portal, I was looking for a dominant quarterback. I seen him in his little debut in the playoffs and throughout the season. So, it was just a little bit more comforting to know I got a QB on this side that's, confident in his skill set and his offense. And, it just allowed me to piece myself in there and, make myself one of those guys, one of those assets you can, rely on. So.
As you're going through the recruiting process, the fact that ASU had an 11-win season in 2024, how much does that really impact your decision?
I really wasn't looking at the 2024 season. I know there was guys that was going to come back. They were going to be developed and, be hungry to go after it again, after losing that game against Texas. But I really came in here to think like I'm a guy too. I came from a school, not many people know, but there's history there, and I'm coming here to make some history as well. 11-win season, I want to top that with them guys, and run it back 2025 season. So that's one of the main reasons why I came here.
And I'm sure you remember the 2023 season and the show that you put on in the stadium here, huh?
Yeah, I do. It's a little refresher coming here, and the guys kind of remember me. Like, oh, you played against us. Yeah, it was kind of an ass whooping, but it was good. I didn't really know a lot of the guys were here, but it was a game of my second or third college game ever.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I was new, so it was viral.
But is that like a sign of respect? I mean, you came over here, you put out in Mount America Stadium.
Yeah.
A couple years later, you're part of the team. Is that kind of sign of respect?
Yeah, I already got my first touchdown in the stadium, so it's time to get many more. So thanks.
You and the corners been going back and forth at a practice about that game, or is it kind of history now?
Not many of the corners were here though, so it was a little different on the defensive side. Some of the guys on offense were here, but I know JT said he was here. He just wasn't playing and stuff like that. But yeah, I didn't see much of the DBs that's here now.
I mean, you did some kick returns and some punt returns at Fresno. Do you feel like that's something you can bring to ASU if they're losing both their returns?
Yeah, that's what I see myself being one of my strong suits. Run after the catch, especially with punt return. I just feel like that's just an extra for me to have run after the catch. Show my explosiveness and my versatility with the ball in my hands. And I feel like me also returning one last year, like it just brings a little bit more confidence to me. And I also feel like the special teams coordinator, he knows that I'm explosive back there. I can make a play happen. So.
Was there anything about Coach Dillingham, Coach Arroyo's scheme that made you really want to come here? Anything you saw on tape?
I did. Coach Arroyo was Coach Teffert's grad coach? Yeah, grad assistant coach. So, their offenses are very similar. And it was just I'm able to translate a little bit easier terminology and stuff you got to get used to. But overall scheme of things, it sort of was the same in some ways.
How are you preparing your body for the step up in physicality and kind of the size of these DBs in the Big 12?
I already put me on some weight, so it's not too shabby right now. But I feel like I'm been putting on the muscle. Coach Jones, been putting me in the right position. Get my body physically in shape for spring ball and forward camp and once we get in the season. But I feel like size sometimes doesn't really matter. It's overlooked sometimes. I feel like if you're able to play ball, you're able to play ball, and that's what I'm able to do. I played at 160, I played at 170, so I made it happen and made some plays. So as long as you can play ball.
I mean, as a transfer, do you feel pressure to really make an impact from day one in spring practice? Make your name known out there right away.
I feel like over time, as the players and the coaches get to see, it may be a little transition, getting used to things, practicing with the guys. But as it comes along, I do plan to make some plays, early on to let guys know, I'm able to make plays, I'm able to ball with you guys, compete. But, as it comes along, spring ball, fall camp, I know it's going to be plays made. I know that other guys are going to make plays, just nature of the game, so I'm not really worried about that.
When you think about all the stuff they told you during the recruiting process, because this coaching staff is really big about being honest, not making promises they can't keep and everything. Now you've been here 2 months on campus. Do you feel those the actions kind of match the words that you heard a couple months ago?
Yeah, and I like the realness that came with me when I came into the portal. A lot of other schools were, keeping it real too, but not as real as them. And it made me sit at home a little bit better coming here on my visit, talking to my moms, and once we hit that plane, and I just knew, like, yeah, it was a fit for me. They just fit for me. And Coach Wario he was just a guy I liked to hear when he was talking about the offense. Coach Ward, just I vibe with him. He's a good guy, and Coach Dilly, you can see his energy through the screen, you know what I'm saying, on your phone. He's just the energy guy, so I enjoyed that, so for sure, it was good.
You talk about Coach Hines Ward. I'm assuming you're ready to do blocking like you never did in your life, right?
I had to do a couple blocking here and there, but not like I have here yet, so I can't wait, for sure.
Jordan was mentioning that a lot of the newer guys are picking up the playbook really well. What have you seen from the playbook so far, and what's your grasp level of it going into the next one?
It took me a little while to get used to some of the things, but a lot of things are the same. Terminology is different, but hand signs, the route concepts are all similar to what I came from at Coach Tedford and his offensive scheme. But I'm cutting along with it. It's coming along. It's got about a couple installs, and I'll be good. So.